Motor tanker Heroic Idun, a super tanker of about 336 meters long, 60 meters in breadth, with a capacity of 3 million barrels, which was intercepted on 7th August last year while attempting to load crude oil at Akpo oil field offshore Bonny without authorization. Regrettably, the vessel refused to respond to instructions from a Nigerian Navy ship vectored to prevent her from illegal bunkering. Motor tanker Heroic Idun subsequently proceeded towards the Nigeria-Satome Joint Development Zone and deliberately raised a false piracy incident indicative of her encounter with a Nigerian Navy ship or man of war. The ship was eventually arrested on 10th August 2022 at Equatorial Guinea through activation of collective arrangements of the Nigerian Navy under the Yaoundé Code of Conduct. Please permit me to, though they are not present, especially appreciate the regional collaborative support from Equatorial Guinea Navy for the arrest of MT Heroic Idun and her transfer to Nigeria, which further gives credence to regional collaboration as a critical factor in curbing transnational maritime crimes. I am pleased to inform this distinguished audience that motor tanker Heroic Idun and crew were transferred to Nigeria on 12th September 2022 and arraigned at the Federal High Court. The case was adjourned from 21st February to 24th March, and the final hearing was last April on 28th of April this year, sequel to an agreement on plea bargain initiative by the law firm defending the vessel and crew. Motor tanker Heroic Idun was convicted and sentenced to pay $7,000 as penalty for the charge, as well as $15 million as restitution to Nigeria. In addition, thank you. In addition, public apologies will be made in the print and electronic media in Nigeria, as well as the Lloyd's list prior to release of the vessel and crew. The regional collaborative capacity towards sharing actionable intelligence and vectoring an Equatorial Navy ship to intercept and arrest Heroic Idun is a feat that must be sustained as well as extended to other regions like the South Africa Development Community, that is SADC, to protect strategic resources within Africa's maritime environment for sustainable blue economy. Let me give you an insight into Nigerian Navy's response capability. An appropriate response capability with right mix of ships and air assets for interdiction, as well as interrogate vessels of interest and subsequently board, search and seize, or effect arrest is expedient for maritime security and economic prosperity. Notably, the response capability displayed by the Nigerian Navy led to the successful boarding of hijacked Portuguese vessel MT Tommy Richer and the rescue of 11 crew from pirates within the Gulf of Guinea in April 2020. Similarly, motor tanker Halophane 2, a Chinese fishing vessel, was effectively boarded by the Nigerian Navy to dislodge pirates who had taken over the vessel and heading towards an unknown destination. The coordinated response capability operation led to the timely rescue of 18 crew and arrest of 10 pirates. Following the successful arrest, naturally, the next aspect to follow is law enforcement. Law enforcement is the third aspect of the Nigerian Navy's Trinity of Action initiative needed to secure the nation's maritime domain for sustainable development of the nation's blue economy. Notably, the process of law enforcement goes beyond arrest and prosecution, but includes collaboration with other stakeholders as well as global partners. One outcome of the collaboration is enactment of the Suppression of Piracy and Other Maritime Offences Act by the federal government in 2019. The legal framework is a unifying document and fostered Nigerian Navy's collaboration with maritime enforcement agencies to criminalize and prosecute maritime offenders. Notably, conviction in the case where 10 pirates were sentenced to 12 years imprisonment in July 2021. The document can only be used to prosecute maritime offenders within Nigerian controlled waters. This development continued to stall Nigerian Navy's efforts at addressing maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea, especially when foreign nationals involved in these crimes are arrested. However, at the 61st Ordinary Session of Heads of States and Government on 3rd July 2022, Economic Community of West African States adopted a supplementary act on conditions of transfer of persons suspected to have committed acts of piracy. The act serves to facilitate transfer of piracy suspects and associated property or evidence to member states with appropriate legal framework to ensure legal finish with the prosecution of piracy. The aim is to further strengthen gains in securing the region's maritime domain from acts of piracy. Establishing similar legal framework in other regions of the continent, starting with South Africa Development Community, could be a step in the right direction to strengthening prosecution of pirates towards enhanced maritime security for sustainable development of Africa's blue economy. Let us now consider Nigerian Navy's operational responses for improved economic sustainability. The Nigerian Navy has continued to refine its responses across the 5 spectrums, which recorded significant achievements over the years. These operations responses are discussed beginning with anti-piracy operations. The Nigerian Navy anti-piracy operations are geared towards creating a safe and more secure maritime space for commerce to thrive. Operation Tsareteku, meaning protecting the sea in Hausa language, is a dedicated naval operation activated to contain threats of piracy and related attacks on shipping, as well as oil and gas installations. The operation requires maintenance of credible presence in identified piracy-prone areas at sea and aggressive patrols of Nigeria's maritime domain to curb maritime crimes. It is noteworthy to state that within the Gulf of Guinea, 11 piracy incidents were recorded in 2021 compared to 44 in 2020. Similarly, there was a decline in piracy and robbery incidents within Nigeria's water, where the country reported only 11 piracy incidents and 3 sea robbery attacks in 2021 compared to 22 piracy incidents and 16 sea robbery attacks in 2020. Notably, the Nigerian Navy anti-piracy operations resulted in steep decline in piracy in the region. This was complemented by the International Maritime Bureau Piracy Report of 14th July 2021, which indicated the lowest total number of piracy and sea robbery incidents against ships in 27 years. This report, thank you. This report was corroborated by Defense Web, which noted further decline in reported cases of piracy and armed attacks against shipping. This culminated in delisting Nigeria from piracy lists according to International Maritime Bureau Global Piracy Report of 3rd March 2022. I'm glad to inform this distinguished audience that there was no piracy incident in Nigerian waters throughout the year 2022 until date. Here we are looking at about 18 months and still counting if we look at the year 2021 also. Accordingly, the war risk premium tag on Nigeria was lifted, reducing the high insurance premium for ships in Nigerian controlled waters to about 960 United States dollars, as against 5,000 United States dollars per shipment. This further reduced cost of goods towards enhanced well-being of Nigerians and bolstered confidence of mariners to sail into Nigeria to boost economic activities. Although there are speculations that some Gulf of Guinea countries are again being considered to be tagged with the war risk premium due to the recent development within the region. However, the evolution of the Nigerian Navy in terms of operations concepts, platform acquisition, and enhanced maritime domain awareness capability has positioned the Navy towards enhanced maritime security for sustainable development of the nation's blue economy.